And the award for most over-anticipated challenge of the year goes to this one. I was really nervous about cutting out caffeine. I've been drinking like 2 to 3 cups of regular coffee for the past, I don't know, 5 years. Quick backstory, I worked in a coffee shop throughout high school where I developed an appreciation for the beans. Then throughout college, I just kept hitting the Java Juice harder and harder, as we all do. And now as a working class American citizen, I basically consider myself a black belt in chugging coffee. Until now. Today is my last day of a 30 days of no caffeine challenge, and so far it's been a pretty underwhelming experience, so get ready for a pretty underwhelming video. Let's do it. Let's roll it out in our usual fashion. Here are the top 5 takeaways. Takeaway 1. I was fine. What? So I spent several weeks hyping up this challenge on social media.
It is just 12 days until the 0 caffeine for 30 days challenge. But I'm really preparing for this. But I'm slowly and steadily weaning off so that next week things don't get crazy when there's no caffeine coursing through these veins. I don't know if I'll be out here. I don't know where I'll be.
And then nothing crazy happened. I didn't get headaches, I wasn't depressed, my digestion was fine, if not better than normal. The worst thing that happened was, I guess, it blew my mind. I guess the lack of withdrawal just blew my freaking mind. However, a very important note, I did spend a month preparing for this challenge. First, I switched my morning regular French press, which I drink throughout the day, I switched that into a half regular, half decaf French press. And then I switched the cup of coffee I would typically have with lunch with an herbal tea. After about a month of this light preparation for the no caffeine challenge, I jumped into it and I was fine. I don't know if I'm some sort of cockroach human that doesn't experience the typical side effects of withdrawal, but I was fine. I went from drinking several cups a day to none, and I was fine.
Day 1 of no coffee update. I'm surprisingly not tired. I just had one of the best yoga sessions I have ever had. Not just mentally, but physically. Like, I felt more balanced.
Feeling really good, feel less jittery and a little more focused. I still feel just as productive as I usually would. I have been weaning myself off coffee for the last month, so I think that has something to do with what an easy time I'm having right now. I might be getting pretty used to this no caffeine thing. Takeaway 2, more consistent energy. Less highs and lows. So I think I used to have much more peaks and valleys of energy throughout the day, but without the caffeine, I feel much more stable. I'm no longer riding that roller coaster of highs and lows. I'm more so riding a subway from point A to point B with no serious change in elevation. My energy levels have been pretty stable throughout the day, albeit perhaps a little bit lower than usual. I'm perhaps just like 10% more tired than usual. Coffee definitely used to hype up my morning routine, but that high would always inevitably come with an eventual low, and then I'd be back onto the caffeine. But now I'm just kind of staying in the middle all day, and I really like it. Plus, I'm starting to realize how other lifestyle factors are affecting my energy levels. It's like without coffee there as my go-to source of energy, I'm realizing that how I sleep plays a huge role in how I feel throughout the day. Duh. I'm realizing that what I eat plays a huge role in how I feel. I'm realizing how I move, that plays a huge role in how I feel.
If I have a big dinner the night before, maybe some complex carbs and a lot of meat, I'm pretty energized the next day. It's like a slow release of energy rather than just riding the highs and lows of coffee all day. I feel more in tune with how what I eat affects how I feel, which is nice, a nice little side effect.
There's so much more to the equation that determines how you feel throughout the day than simply how much coffee you drink. And when you cut out that coffee, all these other lifestyle factors have a chance to rise to the surface and be heard. And for me, that's been super, super insightful. Takeaway 3, there's caffeine in a lot of stuff. If you're trying to cut out any and all caffeine, you gotta be careful. Caffeine is in a surprising amount of stuff. One of my guilty pleasures for long car rides is indeed a Bai antioxidant cocoa fusion water. Get ready for a moment of transparency, guys. I did accidentally drink one of these on a road trip before realizing that it contains 55 milligrams of caffeine. This thing is pretty much a cup of green tea. So you gotta be careful if you're trying to cut out any and all caffeine. It'll be in most of these trendy sports drinks, but it'll also show up in pretty much all soft drinks, pretty much all naturally flavored chocolate products. And if you're gonna go with decaf tea, you have to go with herbal tea, not decaf. Decaf still has trace amounts of caffeine. And lucky for me, my friends over at Wise Ape Teas hooked me up with some herbal tea to replace the morning French press ritual, which really helped with the emotional and routine cravings. And I must say, this tea is really good. This orange dreamsicle in particular is probably my favorite tea of all time. And there's all this advertising that says to drink it before bed to help you sleep, but I just drink it all day because it's delicious. Orange dreamsicle. Which is why I've partnered with Wise Ape Teas to offer you guys a discount. Trust me, I only decide to partner with companies that I fully support, and I fully support these guys. So use promo code CHASE at checkout and you'll get 15% off your first order. Plus, 10% of the profits of each of their teas goes to a different charity depending on the tea, which is also cool. So in using my promo code, you'll be supporting this channel, you'll be supporting these awesome teas, and you'll be supporting a charity. Who knew that you could do so much good by just sipping on some tea? Takeaway 4, I don't need it, but I want it. To my surprise, I've learned that caffeine is not essential or necessary in order for my life to persist. I simply don't need it, but I still want it, especially in the form of coffee. Coffee is so good. I miss the taste of coffee. I miss the smell of coffee. I miss the routine. I miss going into coffee shops and hearing the sound of the espresso machines and the smell of the beans. I miss saying grande latte. Grande latte. Grande latte. A grande latte? Grande latte. Grande latte. Grande latte. Doesn't that just sound great? It's undeniable that there is a huge social ritual surrounding coffee that I just like being a part of. Coffee is one of the most highly traded commodities on earth. It's also one of the most highly memed commodities on earth. And everybody I know that works a day job pretty much thinks this stuff is holy water. And I do too. I can't be alone when I say that I want coffee way more than I need coffee. And that's addiction, man. To want and crave what we don't really need. Takeaway 5, caffeine as a tool, not a necessity. Moving forward, I'm definitely going to have a different relationship with this drug. I mean drink. So I'm really learning to like life without the highs and lows of caffeine. I think moving forward, I'll replace my morning French press with a morning decaf French press, but I'll probably keep some regular beans on deck just in case, you know, it's a unique situation. Maybe I've got an important meeting to get to and I didn't sleep well the night before. Break out the regular beans, but otherwise I don't see myself relying on caffeine for energy consistently moving forward. Sure, I'll still go down to the local coffee shop and order a grande latte from time to time. Grande latte, grande latte, grande latte, grande latte, but I'll probably make it decaf. Speaking of which,
the next day.
I didn't make it decaf. There's this place in Pittsburgh just off of Grandview called Grand Brew. You guessed it. They make excellent lattes and they even serve them with the lid off. Thank God. I can't believe so many places get away with selling lattes with the lid on. I feel like the whole point is the foam, and the foam doesn't come through the lid. And before you know it, you just drank an entire latte and you got this weird foamy layer around the lid, and it's just such a waste. The point of a latte is the foam. The point of the latte is the milk mustache, you know? Take that lid off, let your freak flag fly, baby. This is about freedom. This is about foam. This is about 30 days of no coffee coming to an end. The feeling is quite nice, you know, quite nostalgic. It's weird how anxious and excited I got about the sensation of drinking coffee again. Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah, it boosts me up a little bit, but damn do I want it. It's crazy how this drug, I mean drink, is so casually accepted in modern society. So many of us are over-caffeinated and underslept, and many of us are even loading our caffeine drugs up with sugar drugs and making it even more of a wild ride. And that'll really get you hooked. Thing is, I just don't know how we decided which drugs were okay and which ones were not. Like caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, nicotine. That's the best we could do for recreation. Anyway, before this video turns into something it's not, I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the rest of this latte. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you are new. You can even support the cause on Patreon, but you know, totally your call. I just appreciate you tuning in, watching, learning a thing or two about these ridiculous challenges. So, until next time, we're drinking coffee.